Hey, g'day big bikers. Well, it is a ride day today. It's just not the kind of riding I like to do. We're at peak hour, it's 5:15 in the afternoon, it's peak hour traffic, and I absolutely hate this. But there's the things you do for content, right? So what I'm doing down behind this camera here, so down behind that camera, I've got the third eye, the INNOVV Third Eye. There it is, you can see it on the camera. The INNOVV Third Eye blind spot radar. I've actually mounted it to the bike. I haven't permanently fixed it. You see the loose wires and all sorts of stuff around. Don't worry about that just at the moment. But I've got it mounted up underneath the where the top box mounts, so the rear rack. I've got it mounted up underneath that, pointing backwards. And I'm going to turn this camera on, and I'm going to turn this camera on, and you can actually see when I'm going past people. There's cars in my blind spot, but it's not activating because I'm going past them. So it's very, very smart. Now you see it going off now because there's actually cars coming up behind me and in my blind spot over to my right. So there's cars there. There's cars all around me, things going off. Now that audio alarm is a little bit annoying, and you can turn it off. There's a little speaker button right in the center of the display there, so I can touch that button and turn off the sound. But for the purposes of the audio, we'll leave it on. So I went out yesterday with it on with Ms. Buttons, and she's gone, "Oh, please turn that audio off. It's just driving me nuts." I'm just going to ride around now. As you see, if I go past someone and they're kind of in my blind spot just behind me, the thing doesn't go off. It's actually really smart. It only does it if they're coming up behind you. If you're going past them and they become an object in the blind spot, because I'm moving forward, it's actually not indicating that there's anything there. But if I slow down, well, I can't now because everyone's slowing down. But if I slow down, or if I'm stationary and there's cars coming up behind me, it actually picks up the ones that are coming up behind me, which I think is actually really, really clever, and I didn't realize that it did that. So that's a smart bit of AI. So it can actually figure out the difference between if I'm going forward or if they're coming up behind me. So if you have a look, there's a car coming there, there's another one coming up behind me on the right here, the slowest I've ever ridden. And you can see it's going off there. So yeah, it's actually a pretty clever system. I'm a little, see, I actually, a stealth Tesla, I missed it, but the third eye didn't. So I'm actually quite impressed with this thing. It's actually doing a really, really good job. Now I went out for a ride yesterday with Ms. Buttons. I haven't been on this bike for quite a while because if you saw on my one of the Instagram page, or I put it up on a YouTube short, the Metzler Tourance necks that I had on the back of this thing was actually separating inside the carcass. The carcass was separating inside the tread. So the tread was like deep inside the tread, the carcass was separating, and you see the radials. So I actually contacted Metzler and I said, "I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to do that," and they said, "Yeah, no, that's not good. We wouldn't recommend you riding on that tyre." And then they organised for me to go and get a new tyre put on at my dealer. That process took a couple of weeks, but now I've got a brand new Metzler Tourance Next 2 on the back of the bike, and they replaced that free of charge. So thanks to Metzler for that. That was actually, I was quite surprised at how well they stood by their product and their service. So I'm quite happy to give them a bit of a shout out. Because when you've got a pillion on, sometimes you're a little distracted because you're talking through the intercom and everything, and it was actually really good to be able to see and hear when other vehicles were coming up into my blind spot. So like I said, it doesn't pick up vehicles you go past, but it does pick up when vehicles come up behind you. But like, I'm looking at that red car in a rear vision mirror there, and I can see that red car. But if I slow down enough, and this traffic on the right in the right lane doesn't, which it is going to, but if I can see it in the mirror, it's not activated on the monitor. But as soon as it disappears into that blind spot, it actually lets me know that there's a car in that spot. So I'm actually pretty happy with it, because there are blind spots, and unless you are turning and checking your peripheral vision, see that car there just came up beside me. I slowed down, then it came up past me again. So unless there's another one coming up behind me now, so unless that's right in my blind spot, that car now, like, could not see it in the mirror, and I would have had to turn and check my shoulder. There's another one. So it's actually doing a really good job, and it's quite good at determining whether there's a vehicle in that blind spot or not, and it hasn't been wrong yet. So I'm actually quite impressed with it. So it's the INNOVV Third Eye blind spot monitor. Like I said, I've only got it loosely wired in the bike at the moment, just running straight off the battery. So when you turn it on and activate it, it goes through a test sequence, and it just sets off the alarms and checks all the lights and all that sort of stuff, and then settles down to that one particular frame. Now you can hear it there beeping away as people are coming up over my right shoulder. So yeah, it's actually not too bad. So anyway. Alright, that's probably enough traffic for me. I'm a little bit over it. But you'll see as I'm going past cars, which is actually really quite smart, because if you've got a vehicle that's got blind spot monitors in the mirrors, and you can actually see those little yellow indicators in the mirrors, then you will notice that that whether you're going past someone or they are going past you, the monitors will be active. So this one only does it if they're coming up behind you. If you're going past a vehicle, it won't go off. So I actually kind of like that thing. It's very clever. Good technology. Anyway, that's the INNOVV Third Eye. Sorry, I was rabbiting on a bit, but I was a little kind of reluctant. And I know they come out on new bikes these days, so you get a lot of the BMWs and Triumphs and all the late model Ducatis and all that sort of stuff. They've all got blind spot monitors in the mirrors and lights up here on their their mirror frames and their mirror bars. But here's a really good aftermarket alternative and option. If you spend a lot of time in traffic and you're concerned about your blind spot, you don't have the mobility that you used to have, the INNOVV Third Eye blind spot monitor might be a very good option for you, because it's actually really good tech. And I think I said in my other video, if you contact INNOVV at the moment and you use the code which is on my screen, you'll get a 10% discount off the product for purchasing using that code. So yeah, go do that. Anyway, that's it. It's pretty cool. I didn't think I was be as impressed with it as I am, but it's technology that's going to help you be safer, so I'm fully supportive of it.